Let me introduce myself first. My name is Fernando Mejia. I am the senior video journalist for Telemundo 39 here in Dallas. I've been in this business for almost 35 years, 30 of them as a video journalist. I began my career as an editor, then I was a photographer, and then I did the transition to a reporter. So I know exactly what I'm talking about video journalism. I know how to edit, I know how to do a camera, and I know how to report. For the past 10 years of my life, I had trained video journalists from all over the country. I trained photographers, I trained editors, so that's what I've been doing. Because what I'm trying to do with the video journalist is basically a new profession in the business. But I've been doing it for 30 years. So I'm trying to let the new video journalists know that even though it's a very stressful, very demanding profession, it can be very easy and it can be fun. And at the end, to me, it's the most rewarding profession in the business because you do everything. You have nobody to blame but yourself. You cannot blame the editor, you cannot blame the photographer, or sometimes you cannot complain about the reporter because at the end you're being complaining about yourself. We have to understand that in a newscast, in the operation, the goal of everybody is to make it on the air on time. Producers, assignment desks, everybody around the newscast, the goal is to be on the air on time. For us, as a journalist, as a video journalist, we have to have a well-balanced report on the air. How do we balance a report? Well, we have different ways. The most, I don't want to say popular, but the one that producers like is a story with 3 different sound bites, 3 different sources. The official source, the witness, the neighbor. As long as you have 3 different sources, I can assure you that you're going to have a very well-balanced report. Now, we're going to start lowering our expectations, okay? Now we go with 2 sound bites. That could be an official side and a witness, or just balance it. You have to. Then we go with 1 sound bite, but always try to balance it. 1 sound bite with a press release. And then the last resource, we do stories many times with MOSs. MOSs means men on the street. It's people on the street randomly that can comment about this story. So that's not the most interesting one, but it can be done. Then we can lower our expectations more and more. We can be on time with the live VO SOTVO, or with the live VO, or with the straight live. That's the last resource. Straight live is when you just set yourself in front of the camera and you talk for about a minute and 30 seconds. But on all these choices that I gave you here, you have to make it to the air on time. In order to do that, you are going to find many challenges every day. Today we are going to talk about a little bit about some of the challenges you'll find every single day. You have to create content, you have to produce the story, you have to drive, you have to edit, you have to what else? You have to do social media. I'm sorry?
You do social media?
Of course, we do social media. Yeah, I mean, in my workflow, I have to post every single day in advance of my story, at 11 and at 4. There is a lot of responsibilities, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about them so you have a better understanding and how to deal with these responsibilities to make your day free of stress, because at the end is our goal. You cannot work under stress every day because at the end you're gonna hate your job. The last challenge is to be ready and sharp. I mean, because you have to be ready and sharp at the end. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're sweating or you're running. At the end, you have to be in front of the camera, ready and sharp. Okay, let's talk about a little bit about our challenges. First challenge you're gonna have at the beginning of your day is to create content. So in order to create content, you have to be very active in social media. We have to be in touch with our community, our sources, watch other newscasts, read newspapers. I mean, you're a journalist. Once you create content, it begins the process of producing the story. It is very important to know your story. In the meeting with the producers, you have to be very clear with them what's the story about. If you don't understand your story, don't go out there and do a story. You have to understand your story. You have to gather your elements. You have to talk to the sources. You have to know your deadlines, because every video journalist has different deadlines. I have 2 deadlines every day. I have a deadline at 11 and I have a deadline at 4. Some other video journalists have different deadlines, but you have to know your deadlines and make a list of your tasks that you have to do every day. That's the only way you're gonna manage your time, when you really know what do you have to do in the day. Then you have to drive. Now you're not a producer, now you're a driver, okay? So it is very important, this, guys. Focus on the road. There is no story that works your life or the life of somebody else. Forget it, okay? Always focus on the road. Now, think your car as your office. Think your car as your temple. It's your office. You have to make it work. It doesn't matter if it's a Volkswagen or an SUV, you have to make it your office. This is my office, okay? Cute guy, huh? Now check this out. I have everything handy. Focus on the road. I have everything handy. I have post-it notes, because sometimes I have to do some phone calls. I have Wi-Fi at all times. I have my iPhone, my iPad, and AC power. All my equipment around me has AC power. There is nothing more frustrated than walk out of your truck with your battery about to die. Oh my God. Oh, it happens to me before. And I have a Bluetooth. If somebody calls me, I am not gonna be looking for my phone. With a single click, I answer the phone. If that person is gonna give me some information, and instead of taking notes, I'm gonna press the button on my iPad, and I'm gonna detect Siri all the information I've been receiving. Always focus on the road. Now, when I'm editing, again, my car is my office. You see, I have everything handy right there. I just add 2 more things to my editing office, which is is the computer. Now I add the computer and a trackball mouse. Trackball mouse is my best friend, because with the trackball you just do with the ball and you do everything. Otherwise, with the mouse, you don't have a space there to move your mouse around. So that's what I add to my editing suite. And check this out. Again, you have to be resourceful. Nobody's gonna help you but you. But check what I did here. When I walk out of the car, the computer stays there, the steering wheel. What does that mean? That when I walk out, I don't have to put the computer on the dashboard. It is a drag. So I come out, I am a Mexican, okay? I am a resourceful guy, so I come up with ideas. So I add something to the steering wheel in order for me to get that set. What do I have on the side of my truck? Cables. It's SDI cable, XLR cables, AC extension, all kind of cables, and a couple of extra clothes. You never know what your story is gonna be, so you better be ready with a suit. You better be ready with rain gear. You have to be ready with any kind of story you're gonna encounter. Now check my photographer station. That's the back of my truck. Now, everything you see there, I build it. The engineers don't care. Plain and simple. The engineers is just gonna give you a vehicle. This is it, you make it work. They don't care. So I went to the Home Depot, and again, I'm a Mexican, so I come up with this, okay? I have my cameras there, ready to go. With a single click, I can pull out my camera and start shooting. I have camera batteries ready. I have the sport wagon in case I have to carry heavy stuff. I have C-stand for my lights. I have sandbags. I have lights. And then these little bags over here, I have everything you can imagine. Extra cables, USB cables, iPhone cables, microphone, SD card, tools, batteries, AAA, AA, 9 volts, anything. And the most important thing is I know where everything is at. There is nothing more frustrating than looking for a cable and you don't know where it is. It's gonna drive you nuts. Trust me. So I know if I go like this, I know what I'm gonna find. My lunch. Now, why I'm doing all this? Because at the end, when I'm doing that, I just want to relax and really deliver my report. On multiple duties, you have social media. This is not a challenge. This is a responsibility. It is not like we want to do it. No, we have to do it. We have to promote our stories. We have to promote station content, and we have to be very active in social media. It's a responsibility. It's not a matter of if I want to do it or not. When you're doing camera, I'm going to give you 3 tips. Okay? Don't overshoot. Relax. This is a 1 minute, 30 seconds story. If you break down the story, at the end, you're going to end up with maybe 12 different shots in the story. So this is not a documentary. Okay? This is news. Don't overshoot and shoot to edit. What do I mean by shoot to edit? You have to know your sequences. You do a wide shot. Your next shot, it has to be a medium shot, and your next has to be a close-up. Then you become an artistic with a low angle or high angle. So shoot to edit. And always be ready, okay? Don't ever go out looking for your story, not knowing that all your gear is working. Especially if it's not your camera, especially if it's not your vehicle, you have to know. Because it's better to spend 5 minutes before going there to the story, then get to the story and not be able to shoot when everything is happening. For a reporter, avoid long interviews. Again, this is not a documentary. Straight to the point and what you want to know. Log your interview. If you log, at the end, it's going to be much easier to write a script. Have a preliminary script ready. Use remaining time wisely. Don't promise anything that you cannot deliver, okay? Don't go crazy with the producers and say, oh yeah, I'll be there and I'll do this and I'll do that. No, wait. First get there and then offer an alternative. And never say it cannot be done. That's the word we don't use in this business. You always offer an alternative. Another challenge that we have too many bosses. Oh my God. We have producers, we have assistant producers, we have the assignment desks, we have the executives. We have to understand their perspective. They have their responsibilities. They have their own way to look at the stories we are doing. Yes, they are their bosses. They have the power to change your story. They have the power to pull you out of the air. They are the bosses. But you know what? I have news for them. We are in control. It doesn't matter what they want. At the end, we are in control of our time. We are in control of our circumstances. We are in control of everything. They might want something exclusive. They might want something outrageous. But sometimes it just can't be done. You know? So it doesn't matter what they want. You are the one who is going to tell them what can you do to them at the end. But always remember, you have to make the air. Bosses. Another challenge. You always want something better, which is fine. Believe me. I like my stories to be the best story possible, but sometimes you just can't. You have to be very honest with you when you have to quit what you're doing. If I do this, I'm going to jeopardize the story. So I better relax and concentrate on the task I'm doing at that time. Because if I want to go after an element that I want so bad, but if I go to that element, it's going to jeopardize my story. At the end, you're not going to be on time. And trust me about this. There is nothing more damaging to your branding than to create the idea among the producers that you are always late, that you are always having technical difficulties. Because you can be on time 100 times, but if you are late 3 times, you are not performing according to their expectations. And to be honest with you, they are right. You cannot have problems every week. You have to ask for help. So some of the challenges that I just mentioned, this is the worst. Time. How do we manage our time and how do we make this difficult job that we do easier? Well, we have to know our strengths and our weaknesses. We have to know what we're good at and we have to know what we suck at it. You know? So in order to make our plan, daily plan, if I'm not good on editing, but I know I have to put 30 minutes on editing, I am good at this, so organize your time and it's gonna be the key of success for your stories. Because we do everything. We drive, we produce, we edit, we shoot, we write, I said write already, yeah? Well, let's write again. This is the last part of I'm gonna go fast in this. I'm gonna talk to you about ideal workflow, something that every journalist or video journalist dream about. Let's say that the newscast is at 5, okay? If the newscast is at 5, the story, if you wanna make everybody happy, the story needs to be in the station 30 minutes before. So everybody will be happy that all the bosses that I told you before, they will be very happy. So that means that at 4:30, I have to send the story. But in order to do that, first of all, I need to compress the story. And that will depend in the kind of computer you have. This process can take you 3 minutes, can take you 20 minutes. So that means that at 4:10, I have to start compressing my story. But, I'm sorry, before that one is send the story via internet, but for that, it will all depend too on the capacity of your computer. But now we are on the compressing video. We have to edit this story. So how long does it take me to edit a story? A 130-minute story, a 140 story. I will say for the sake of the exercise, it will take me 45 minutes. That's a lot, but it's the ideal workflow. I mean, sometimes I'm editing the story in 10 minutes. So let's say 45 minutes. So at 3:10, I have to start editing my story. In order for me to edit, I need to have my script approved. So I have to send the script to the producers, and it all depends on how many scripts they have. This could take, let's say, 20 minutes, Jimena? 20 minutes, so I have to send the script to the producer at 2:15. 2:50, I'm sorry. Then I have to log and write. Remember what I said about log? It is the most easiest way to write a story because you know where everything exactly is. So it's gonna take me an hour to do the log and write. So at 1:50, I have to start doing the log. But that time, I love to be at my location for my live shots, so I don't move from there. So wherever I park, that will become my office that day. I usually use a shade, a tree shade, or something nice, a lake. I mean, it's my office, you know. But sometimes I do it in a very bad areas with the alley, trash, graffiti. That's the beauty of my office. It's movable. Then, I mean, this baby needs to eat, okay? But good luck with that. You know what? We never have 1 hour of lunch. We manage You know, we eat fast, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, and then we eat. But good luck with the lunch. But let's say that we can do lunch. At 12:50, I'm going to call Jimena. I'm going to, Jimena, I'm going for lunch. Sure, Fernando. Yeah, right. So that means that a person that has a deadline at 5 p.m. and his work starts at 9 a.m., that person has 3 hours and 50 minutes to gather all the elements. I'm sorry, I forgot something there. The meeting in the mornings, the editorial meeting, sometimes it takes an hour. So you have 3 hours to do all your elements. So it never happens. Ever happens. But however, remember, your responsibility is to make it on the air on time. You have to make it happen. And the key word here is to be smart. Be smart with your time. Be smart with how you resolve problems. Be smart with your vehicle. Make it an office. Work around yourself to make it happen. Because at the end, nobody is going to help you. You can get some help from some people, but at the end, it's you. It's your responsibility and nobody else to be on the air on time, guys. So that's what I have. Thank you.